Welcome home. This is a project for the little girl that still resides inside of me, the little kid that still resides inside of you, still hoping, still dreaming, still loving, and still gleaming. The little one who wants to break out and be free once again in a world that seems to be built for everyone but them. This is to remind them once again of who they are, who we are, what we're capable of, and how high we can still truly soar. This all started because I looked at old pictures of myself, seeing how in so many of them I could see my soul, I could see my truth, and the embodiment of my being. Whatever I was feeling, I felt it fully, and I could tell from whatever I was doing in these pictures, there was no negative awareness of my being, of my existence. I was doing whatever I felt like doing. If I was crying in the pictures, I was crying. If I was smiling in the pictures, I was smiling so wide, unconscious of how I may appeared. If I was having a good time, I was having a good time. There was simply no mental cage to be kept away in. I was fully me. I mourned in that moment for the free form I used to be as a child, before so many rules, ways of life, ideals, and standards were thrown at me. I mourned for the way I could turn an ordinary toy set into a vast universe filled with possibilities. I mourned for the creativity that used to spur out of me constantly, before everything I created somehow had profit potential looming over it. I mourned for the time before I understood the supposed meanings and supposed limits of what being an adult, a woman, and any other limiting categories meant and didn't mean for me. I mourned for the life I lived before I knew what system I was being molded to enter. A system where people lived not for themselves, but for the acquisition of money, of more and more and more money. I often questioned in the past why I was brought onto this planet within this time as the form that I am. I didn't agree with many of the things I think I was supposed to, and most of the things that people spent their entire lives seeking were fruitless to me. But maybe I'm here, maybe my past happened, so I could create this and journey back to whatever my original meaning for being on this earth was, before everything else that happened. Maybe all this happened so I could journey back to myself, and possibly help others journey back to themselves too in the process. During my teen years, I had constantly felt like I wasn't enough. For who? Only God knows. It felt like everyone and everything sometimes. I had to ask myself, when did my worth turn into the clothes I wore, the way I styled my hair, how clear my skin was, how thick or thin my body was, the people that may or may not have surrounded me? When did my inner expression, my inner experience, start depending on how my outer appearance appeared to others? When did my worth start being equated based on how others perceived me, what others thought of me, how liked or seen I was by others? When did my soul get pushed to the back burner for the acceptance of people who may not even know themselves? When I have daughters, when I have sons, when I have children, period, I'd never want them to feel the way I have in the past, to feel like an imposter in their own life for so long. And just as I would never want any of my children to feel this way, I never wanted to feel this way again. So I tried a different route. I often wondered why I never quite could be the version of myself I sought after for so long, that I had constantly envisioned within my mind. And I realized that it was because everything I did was based in fear and never in love. It was based in the fear that I would become overweight by societal standards, based in the fear that I wouldn't make friends, the fear that my parents or peers would not accept me, the fear that I wouldn't be successful, the fear I'd be judged or humiliated by others. Most of my actions were not for my own happiness, but instead for my image or my reputation, for my mask. Doing everything based in fear and nothing based in love for self will forever leave a person feeling empty, always searching for more no matter how much they do have. Energy never lies, and many people exist within frequencies of fear instead of love, including me for a very long time. Existing in the frequency of love makes all of my worries melt away. I am finally enough as I am. I finally know and understand that everything is and will continue to be so beautiful for me within my life. We all deserve to feel that way all of the time, because that is our birthright. Self-love is our birthright. Why? Because love is the foundation of all that is. Love is all there is. Even the bad things, their foundations are that of love. Think of why people worry, are fearful, are doubtful. It's because they are afraid that either love will be withheld from them or love will be taken away. And why would someone fear this? Because they want to feel that love, they want to keep that love, and they want others around them to feel and keep this love as well. Love is the basis for all that is. Therefore, love is all there is. When you remove all the gunk, all the fear, love lies underneath it all. Love is still there. Many of us have forgotten that love is the foundation, that self-love is our birthright. But I get it. Let's put things in perspective. Imagine a world where someone decided to put breathing the outside air on a pedestal. A world where someone decided that breathing the air not within a building but natural to the planet, to the environment, was a luxury that only the quote-unquote highest and most elite of society could have. If you existed within the system, if you were born into the system and raised within it, you too would believe that, because that is what everyone around you believes. That's what you've been programmed to believe, what you are bred to believe. But you existing within this world know that breathing air, any air, is your birthright. And just as breathing air is your birthright, loving everything that you are right here and right now is your birthright. Believing that you are beautiful is your birthright. Believing you are worthy and deserving is your birthright. Knowing you are enough just as you are is your birthright. Believing you will find all your soulmates, both platonic and romantic, here on earth, that is your birthright. When you have self-love instilled inside of you, everything is not only possible, but destined to come true. Somewhere out there in this universe, beings know all of this immediately upon being born, and it is constantly reinstilled in them as they grow and become young adults, teenagers, adults. Meaning they are constantly loving themselves and constantly creating lives that they love. Allow this to be your story. When you love yourself, the energy inside of you and surrounding you feels like a constant high on life. Loving all that you are, never trying to fit into anyone else's limiting beliefs, gives you a freedom unlike any other. You carry yourself your way. You talk your way. You believe in yourself and what you have to say. You take all opportunities because you know you are capable of doing anything. You remember your code of existence and start living life on your terms. You relearn who you always were and are now able to custom make your paradise here on earth, all of it specific to you and your liking. In love, there is endless possibility and creation, and we all have access to it. We are all innately born with self-love. Every part of us is there to keep us alive and blossoming, each of our physical vessels spending 9 months in our mother's womb in preparation for our livelihood here on earth. We are born with this physical form where every component is meant to work in our favor, to help us evolve and bloom into our most beautiful flower. It's up to each of us to return back to what we once were before all of the gunk that's been thrown onto us. So welcome to the angelic rebirth of your original existence, your original state of being. Within the next 5 tracks, I will speak about each of the integral parts we're born with to create our lives all our own. The soul, the heart, the mind, the body, and the life. Together, we will rewrite the stories of what these beautiful parts represent and what they are. You'll see just how cosmic and otherworldly you really are. Together, we will rip off the labels and categories we have been placed in. The sweetest love story is the one revolving around you. You are the center of your solar system. All the planets surrounding you dependent on the person that you believe that you are. You are all yours, your sacred eternal treasure. Your essence enraptures you from one life to another, from this realm and beyond. You'll live your life loving your existence, worshiping it. You'll treat yourself as almost sacrosanct, an otherworldly blessing here on this earth. You will finally see all of the magic that's been brewing inside of you, waiting to consume you whole and transform you into who you are always meant to be. Your sweetest love story, it consists of you doing everything you've ever wanted. It consists of you creating what may be said not to be possible, but what you know you were meant to birth. In this story, love will consume you whole, birthing out something, someone truly extraordinary. Welcome to Angelik Rebirth, the eternal celebration of our existence. On to the first, the soul.